So our first speaker, as you see on screen, is Dr. Miyako Ikeda, who's a senior analyst for the OECD working with the PISA data. I'm sure most of you are very familiar with the PISA data and how this provides this international comparison of what's happening in so many aspects of school age education across so many countries. So Dr. Miyako holds a doctorate from Teachers College at Columbia University. She's going to share with us some of the data from PISA's latest report on student engagement. So we kind of know what we're going to be talking about for the rest of the afternoon. Dr. Miyako, over to you.
Thank you. So let me share the screen. Can you see the screen?
Yes, very well, thank you. This is great.
Thank you for having me. Today, I'll first briefly introduce the OECD and its assessment program, PISA. Then I will present some PISA findings with a focus on international trends in achievement and engagement. The Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, or OECD, was originally established in 1948 as the OEEC to help rebuild Europe after World War II. In 1961, it evolved into the OECD, expanding its focus globally. Today, the OECD has 38 member countries, including 22 from the European Union, as well as countries like the United Kingdom, Japan, Australia, and more. Guided by the motto, "Better Policies for Better Lives," the OECD sets evidence-based international standards and helps countries track social, economic, and environmental challenges. PISA, the Program for International Student Assessment, began in 2000 to contribute to evidence-based policy making in education. PISA has been conducted every 3 years since then. It evaluates how well 15-year-old students can apply their knowledge and skills to real-life problems. We are not just measuring what students memorized, but we are trying to measure how much they can apply the knowledge and skills they learn through in and out of schools. And PISA provides reliable indicators. It enables international benchmarking, tracks trends over time, and links student performance and other outcomes to background factors. In its 8th round of assessment in 2022, around 690,000 15-year-old students in 81 countries and economies participated. The main focus was mathematics, with additional assessments in reading, science, creative thinking, and in some countries, financial literacy assessment was implemented. Currently, the 9th round of PISA 2025, is underway. Over 90 countries and economies are participating, including new countries such as Armenia, Egypt, Ecuador, Tajikistan, Kenya, Rwanda, and Zambia. The results of PISA 2025 will be released in September next year. On average across OECD countries, performance in all 3 subject areas in reading, math, and science declined since PISA began. Between 2018 and 2022, mathematics and reading scores declined by a significant amount, while science score did not decline significantly. This 15-point decline in mathematics is particularly significant given that the largest score change prior to 2018 only around 5 points. Well, the good news is that there is a group of countries and economies that showed good progress over the last decade. These countries show us what is possible. You can see how Singapore moved from good to great and kept advancing even during the pandemic. Or look at Macau, China, Japan, and Estonia. Portugal, Hungary, and Israel also saw good progress, although they fell back recently. Turkey saw considerable progress and was at the same time able to also get a lot more students enrolled in school. And Romania and Moldova have been some success. And at the lower end of the performance spectrum, you can see how Qatar achieved remarkable progress. Montenegro also progressed. Peru, Colombia, and North Macedonia also advanced. And then Brazil is another of those countries that expanded access to education and raised the quality at the same time. All this then gets you to the international league tables for PISA, which always get a lot of attention. Here we look at the recent performance change in mathematics, which are shown with diamond, in the context of pre-2018 performance trends, which are shown with bars. Some education systems with recent negative trends were already showing declining performance trends even before the pandemic. So these systems include Finland, New Zealand, Iceland, the Netherlands, and Belgium, shown towards left of the graph. In the middle of the graph, countries like Greece and the United Kingdom, pre-2018 trends were stable, while the trends between 2018 and 2022 was negative. Towards right of the figure, countries such as Portugal showed reversed trends, meaning that pre-2018 trends were positive, but 2018-2022 trends were negative. Now let's move away from performance scores and let's take a look at student engagement in education. There are many ways to measure student engagement in education. Here I chose one of the indicators, which is a student's sense of belonging at school. Compared to 2018, students' sense of belonging at school improved in 22 education systems. Student sense of belonging at school remained stable in 25 education systems, while it declined in 25 education systems. So across the world, there is no one consistent picture on it. There is the 1/3 declined, 1/3 stable, 1/3 it improved. When we take a look at the individual education system, for example, in the United Kingdom, student sense of belonging at school has not changed between 2018 and 2022, but its overall level is lower than the OECD average both in 2018 and 2022. In Greece, student sense of belonging at school declined in 2022 compared with 2018. It was slightly above the OECD average in 2018, but it became below the OECD average in 2022. In the OECD's international report, we evaluated each education system using 3 key criteria. First, performance, and second, engagement. In this context is student sense of belonging at school. And the third criteria is equity, the relationship between students' socioeconomic background and their performance. The weaker this relationship, the greater the equity. Those listed in the middle in white, including Japan, Korea, Lithuania, and Chinese Taipei, they achieved above the OECD average in all three aspects in 2022 and demonstrated stable or improving trends across all three aspects. To uncover the common practices or actions that were shared by education system, staying strong in the face of challenges such as the pandemic, we looked closely at what they were doing well in 5 key areas listed here. Among many other findings, in our report, we highlighted 10 actions which are related to education systems resilience. As time is limited today, I will focus on those 2 that are highlighted in orange and red. Please take a look at the last chapter of the PISA 2022 Volume 1 report, where we summarize these 10 actions. The first topic is about the teacher shortage. Our analysis shows that resilient education systems are better at limiting the impact of teacher shortages. In 2022,
I don't think we're going to have time to get into the detail of this, which is such a shame. That previous thing, though, about the digital distraction, I'm sure that's part of the picture here as to why we've got this disconnect between pupils' engagement in the digital world outside of school and what's happening in the classroom. Forgive me, one of the questions that came up was, how do you measure this sense of belonging? What are the survey items? What's the question that you asked, Miyako?
So should I stop sharing the screen or what?
I think we probably should, because we've got another talk running very, very soon. So if you stop sharing and just tell us, there's a question in the Q&A about how do you actually get to this sense of belonging in school? What's the question that you ask the kids?
Yeah, students were asked to respond or strongly agree to strongly disagree, that several questions that when they feel lonely at school and they feel belong to the school and so on. So there are several questions students were asked, and then those answers were combined into one index.
This is just such amazing work, and we have not got the time to do this justice. But thank you so much for at least whetting our appetite about what the PISA data does show us about disengagement.